I think we can go on. Where is Euche? Eh? What is he doing there? Eh? Okay. A very good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure again to welcome you people to today's module, today's session. Today we'll be talking about entrepreneurship and skill acquisition for the AGSMEIS loan program. It promises to be a very loaded one, and we are encouraged to actually concentrate, because the purpose of these trainings is not just for the AGSMEIS program. The purpose is imparting knowledge, and so they have been packaged in such a way that your knowledge will be imparted, and this will be supposed to radiate in all your life. So once again, welcome to Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition for AGSMEIS. We waited for 10 minutes or thereabout to enable some of our colleagues to join. Those who have not joined us will eventually join in the course of the meeting. But let's also put it that the lectures are to start by 2 p.m. every day. It's a 5-day journey, 2 p.m. every day. So let's ensure that we can join by 2 o'clock so that I can gain the most from it. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Owechuame. I'm the course facilitator for today. I'm also the program manager for the program itself, or the training itself. Yesterday, we already dealt with the area of feasibility studies and business plans. I want to believe that people benefited from it, because it is important that for you to embark on any project, you should, or any business, try and do a study on that business to know how profitable it will be to you. And then a business plan is actually a major requirement for this program. I'm sure you saw the difference between business plan and feasibility studies and all that yesterday. Today we are talking about entrepreneurship and skill acquisition. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we'll be dealing with bookkeeping and financial planning. For every business person, the ability to record your account, to keep good records is very, very important. You have to be able to keep good financial records. So tomorrow somebody will be talking to us about bookkeeping and financial planning, the various types of books that you are supposed to keep for your small business, the various types of accounting work that you need to do. You need to know the different balance sheet, profit and loss, assets, liabilities, and all that. Then on Thursday, we are going to go through what we call sales and marketing strategy. It's a very important one. You don't just produce your product. You have to also be able to sell them. So we are going to expose you to the various platforms, various ways to sell and market your product. And then finally on Friday, which is the last day, We are going to have a double program that day. The first one will be a registration of business and compliance requirements. Every one of you, even though the NISAL microfinance bank loan is given to individuals, it's expected that you are supposed to be trading in the business form. So the various types of businesses that you can use to trade, business name, limited liability company, partnership, all will be exposed to you on Friday. And if you have not registered a company, it's even more important why you must listen to our legal expert on that Friday. On the same Friday, we'll show you how to practically complete the AGSMEIS loan form. Many of you already are subscribing with us on consultancy. So you might not be doing this yourself, but it's also very important for you to know the practical steps. So welcome to this session again. Like I said, that's my name there, a brief profile of what I've done to date. And the introductory aspect that we are beginning with, you can see this quotation here. If your salary is your only source of income, you are one step away from poverty. I think I want to start by saying that the federal government of Nigeria, the Central Bank of Nigeria, actually trying to ginger the economy of Nigeria, especially the economy of the micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, or simply SMEs, small and medium enterprises. It is kudos to them that they came up with the agribusiness small and medium enterprises loan scheme. On Friday, you get to hear about this AGSMEIS, but simply what this training is all about, particular training is all about, is that they want you to learn to be entrepreneur. We want to teach you how to be entrepreneurial in your mindset. That from what we are seeing here, salary, the normal routine for children or for students or for people now has been that you go to school, secondary school, university, polytechnic, or whichever one, and eventually come out, then you look for work, you now start earning salary. And from what we are seeing, that if you are earning salary, and salary is your only source of income, you are heading towards poverty. The reason is very simple. Salaries, somebody called it, one of these funny people in one of these, say something always low and reduces you. That is what is salary. Something always low and reduces you. Salary cannot, for instance, suffice in this modern time. The challenges we are facing as a nation today is not what salary can solve. You cannot use salary to educate your children and carry out all other necessary household activities. Let me give you a practical example. A young man who graduates from a university possibly could get, if you are not well connected, you can get employment to maybe civil defense or road safety or federal fire service or one of these agencies. Chances are that what will be paid will be very small, maybe less than 100,000 as a graduate. And then by the time you run your expenses, transport, feed yourself in the office and all that, most likely you are also not like you are not going to live very close to your workstation. So by the time you do transport here and there, it is very difficult. So what is the thing we are saying here? See, whether you are parent or you have brothers, you have sisters, you have relations, you have people. The only thing that is viable today is to get them to learn how to do something, a handwork, something that can be producing money. Even if you are earning salary, you can decide to engage in one thing or the other. You can start a mini agri project. You can start a small fish farm using maybe a rubber tank or something. You can start any form of agri project. You can start so many things that can help you to upgrade yourself without definitely relying only on your salary. Having said that, let's go to this training objectives. Like I said, the training is entrepreneurship and skill development. And our training objective today is understanding the agri-business small medium enterprises investment scheme, otherwise called the AGSMEIS loan scheme, and then to expose you to the objectives, components, and processes of achieving the goals of the project at the AGSMEIS program, to understand the concept of entrepreneurship and expose you to the skills required for entrepreneurship, and then to prepare participants for a life of entrepreneurship. Like I said, a life of entrepreneurship is what you should sell today to everybody, to your relations, to your children. If without a life of entrepreneurship, life will not be easy. Small businesses, they are the ones that drive the economy of most nations. If you look at the people they call the Asian tigers, looking at Malaysia, South Korea, Singapore, and other, they are called the Asian tigers. The most important reason why they are termed Asian tigers is that they built their country via expansion of entrepreneurship. Have so many small businesses. That is what is what the government of Nigeria is trying to do through this loan scheme. The loan, like I've not said that before, is funded by the commercial banks, the bankers committee. They all contribute 5% of their net profit every year to a fund called the AGSMEIS fund. And then it's actually a government directive. And so the bank is helping in that area, in central bank, and then put these funds together and disburse as loans to people who are qualified and who are trained to access the loan. So these are the training objectives. Then the outline will define AGSMEIS, the objective components and processes, and then entrepreneurship, define entrepreneurship, type of businesses and vocational skills that are recommended for people to undergo, and then what you need to know, considerations before you start a business. And then, of course, it's not always a rosy story starting a business, but those who persevere will always win. So there are hurdles in the path of starting a small business that you need to know, and then how to source funding is one of the biggest challenges of entrepreneurship. So how to source funds for your small. We are now starting fully. AGSMEIS, what exactly is it? AGSMEIS means Agribusiness Small and Medium Enterprises Investment Scheme. Like I said earlier, it's an initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria aimed at supporting the federal government agenda towards promotion of agricultural businesses and small and medium enterprises as vehicles for sustainable economic development and employment. I've said earlier on why painting the enterprises. They are the medium for sustainable economic development and for employment. Employment, because in some of these small and medium enterprises, there are some that employs up to 20 people. For instance, if you are doing garri processing, the value chain is long from the planting to the harvesting to bringing in the factory and all that. So you have a lot of people that will be working for you. Even if you are a tailor, you are doing into the fashion industry, you need a lot of people. If you are doing block making, only you cannot be doing it. So there's immense employment opportunities for people to come in. So promoting sustainable economic development and employment is principally the work of SMEs in most countries. In Nigeria, you can see that most people, government organizations, I don't know when last they have employed. Chances are that maybe if you are in church or somewhere, you hear that uh, maybe from testimonies and all that, somebody say, I got a federal government employment. But how many of them do you hear in a season, in a month? How many people? Some people are privileged; they could get something like that, but it's not easy at all. So that is why the vehicle for sustainable economic development and especially employment lies with the SMEs, of which each of you are already doing. This loan also is to encourage you to and empower you to harness opportunities and expand your business. It's expected that you are already doing something or you have a particular business mindset. You have something that you wanted to do, and then funding is the issue. So it is very important to know that this loan is to help you to expand your business. Now, what are the objectives of this agribusiness small medium enterprises investment scheme? One is to ensure small and medium enterprises have access to finance, and that is very crucial. Very, very crucial. Access to finance, like I said, is the biggest one of the biggest problems of SMEs. So if you have access to finance, probably will not be in this program today. Then to generate much needed employment opportunities in Nigeria, I've already explained the impact of SMEs on employment generation. And then to boost the managerial capacity of agribusiness SMEs, pipelines of growing enterprise can become huge corporate organizations. Every organization that we hear about world over today, Dangote Group, one of the largest conglomerates in Nigeria, they started very small. I understand or we read that Dangote borrowed just a small sum of money, and today it's even the richest person in Africa, richest person and also well placed in the world. So what we are starting today can become a Dangote, Walmart, Coca-Cola, all these names that you see, they all started as families, started by somebody, one individual, created just like you have your own idea now, your initiative and all that we are starting something. All these big businesses started as very small enterprises. So how did they now grow to become what they are? They boosted their managerial capacity, increased graphically, and that is what we are thinking that will be your portion too. We will be able to boost your managerial capacity, because by the time you start doing it time and time again, you will see that it will be very easy for you to move ahead. And then to develop agricultural value chain and ensure sustainable agriculture. We have been mentioning agriculture, because for long, Nigeria, after discovering oil in 1956 or thereabout, abandoned every other one. You recall that while you were in school, maybe your history class or economics class and all that, all we studied was the cocoa plantations and all that in the southwest, the groundnut pyramids, cotton, almost and all that in the north, the palm oil industry in the east. Those things were what were sustaining Nigeria before the advent of oil. And now, after when we discover oil, we seem to have abandoned every other project in Nigeria and focused on oil. And to be fair, oil has done its best in Nigeria. And then I can assure you that in the next 20 years, our export potentials or proceeds from oil will drop very drastically. The reason is very simple. A lot of countries, for instance, I can give you authoritatively that India is the largest importer of our oil to the India. And then you have places like South Africa, it's also a very big importer of Nigeria's crude. You have China, and you have from the European Union. In that order, America used to be, but America discovered what they call shale oil a long time ago, about 10, 15 years ago, and then they are penchant to import crude from all over the world. Just dropped. And in any case, apart from the shale oil, they are also one of the largest producers of crude worldwide. So most of these countries are already shifting away from oil. They are going to most of their cars, engines, factories and all that will no longer be using oil as we have it now. They've developed a lot of other alternatives. India, China, they've set targets, set time that by so time, they will no longer use crude oil. So what will happen to a country like Nigeria if we don't develop what we have? That is where agriculture comes into major play. In the past 4 to 5 years, since the advent of this current regime of President Mohamed Buhari, they have been focusing on agriculture. 5 or 6 years ago, Nigeria will import so much, they use most of their foreign exchange to bring in rice, for instance. And I'm sure you are aware that the country has banned rice importation, even poultry products, so many things in agriculture, because we have the capacity, we are doing them in Nigeria already. So why do we have to be draining our foreign exchange to bring in rice, for instance, from rice? And the roast rice that they are bringing in, they have been on the high seas for 6 months, from Thailand, from Vietnam, from all over. So they are not even as delicious and nutritious as the rice that are produced in Nigeria. I can assure you that most of the rice companies in Nigeria today are grown in Nigeria. On the front page of one of the newspapers today, I saw that, say, foreign rice has come in, flooded Nigerian market. You recall that the Nigerian border within the West Coast here were closed to traders and all that. They just opened them now and started flooding Nigeria with rice again. But I can show that the government is developing the agricultural value chain, and part of this AGSMEIS, let me also give you a small information. The AGSMEIS project, which is the agriculture and then SMEs. Agriculture have been funded about 60% more than the other aspects of the program. Now, we are still talking about AGSMEIS. AGSMEIS comprises of agribusiness and small and medium enterprises as a vehicle for economic development and employment. Let's focus on the agricultural area. In 2019, agriculture contributed around 1.9% to Nigeria's GDP. GDP is gross domestic product, which refers to the totality of all economic activities in a country. Okay, so agriculture contributed 21.9%, surpassed only by industry. Industry now is not just, we are not looking at only manufacturing, it includes all your SMEs and all that, not just manufacturing industry before you be thinking of Lever Brothers or Unilever, they call them, and all that. And then the service sector, 49.73%. You can see that's the largest contribution. This service sector includes all the buying and selling that we do, even the Nollywood that we watch on our phones and all that, Mr. Macaroni, all manner of people Brother Shaggy, all these people, they quantify them. And why is it that Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa today? Because when they brought in this Nollywood business into the arena in terms of contribution, they overshot South Africa. In terms of agricultural production, in terms of manufacturing and all that, Nigeria cannot rival South Africa. But because of services that are contributing for 9.73%, we just overshot them, and we call ourselves the largest economy in Africa. So more information on agriculture. Although Nigeria depends heavily on the oil sector for budgetary revenue, Nigeria is predominantly an agricultural society with approximately 70% of the population. 70% of the population of Nigeria are engaged in agricultural production at subsistence level, not at mechanized level. Take a look back at your hometown, your village, and all that. Almost everybody that you know are into agriculture. Even your own education was funded partly more from agriculture. So agriculture is a big player in Nigeria's economy. And then the government wants to concentrate and leverage with a renewed focus on the agricultural sector in our attempt to diversify the economy from oil. I've already spoken about the reason why we need to diversify. Apart from the fact that oil prices are low, we are losing in both ways. Oil prices are low today, and then the quantity we also sell has reduced. OPEC has OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, has a benchmark in terms of quantity that can be generated from a particular country. Nigeria was also affected, so it's not that you can just pump oil and be selling. You have to meet up with the quota from OPEC. So agriculture is the way forward, not oil. And that is why government went all the way to start a lot of agricultural revolution and initiatives. There's the one they call the Anchor Borrowers Program. That one specifically enabled Nigeria not to import rice again. Nigeria was importing rice and using almost all our foreign exchange to import rice. But since 2015, when the Anchor Borrowers Program came about, we grow rice in sizable quantity, and we meet our consumption demand for rice in Nigeria. And now the AGSMEIS is also one of the funding mechanisms, one of the interventions of government to promote the agricultural sector. And then agriculture, why they are focusing on agriculture is that it contributes to economic growth and development, provide food to the expanding population. We have a major population increase in Nigeria all the time. All the time. Remove this one. Remove this. Okay, yeah. We contribute. Yeah. We provide food. The population of Nigeria is rising and rising and rising. Now, the last time they say we are about 200 million. Nobody even knows how many we are today, but we are sure that the population is increasing at a geometric rate. And if we don't step up our agricultural production, hunger will take over the country. And then agriculture also fund the industrial, the factories. Agricultural products serves as a raw material for most of the products that you see on the shelf in the shops or in the market in Nigeria. And then, of course, we obtain foreign exchange. The export of agri products like cocoa, like cashew, like ginger, what are their names? They are so crucial, sesame, so crucial to generating foreign exchange for the country. And then we understand, like, it also increases social income. Let me explain that. I understand that in Kebbi State, where they grow rice more than any state in Nigeria, a lot of people used to rely on government to um, do almost everything for them. So maybe when they want to go to Hajj, government used to fund them. But understand since the advent of the revolution, Anchor Boras or another, that rice production quadrupled, or rice increased in geometric proportion in Kebbi State. Most people have money now that even they want to go to Hajj, they just use their own money instead of waiting for government. And of course, we have talked about employment and then the welfare of Nigerians. It is these gains that explain the need to support the growth and expansion of agriculture and agro-allied industry and its associated value chain. That is about agriculture. The second aspect of the AGSMEIS AG, the first set is agriculture, agribusiness. SMEs, small and medium enterprise. IS is just investment scheme. It's a small and medium enterprises sector. The SME sector is the backbone of major developed economies, as well as important contributors to employment, economic, and export growth. I've explained that when I mentioned the Asian tigers, the South African type of economy. In fact, almost all the economies they call emerging economies, SME, plays a major role there. According to the Nigeria SME survey by PwC is PricewaterhouseCoopers. They are an accounting and consulting firm, one of the biggest accounting firm in the world. When they say big three or big four in accounting, PwC will be there, then KPMG and the rest. The survey carried out by PricewaterhouseCoopers in 2019 in Nigeria shows that SMEs contribute 48% of national GDP, while accounting for 96% of businesses and 48% of employment. These are information, statistics, which are as a result of the survey by a leading accounting professional practice in Nigeria. And then SMEs in Nigeria constitute a total number of about 17.4 million, accounting for 50% of industrial jobs and nearly 90% of the manufacturing sector. First of all, let me explain these SMEs. How do you even know that you are an SME? There are various categorizations. We have the Companies Act. We call them CAMA. We have the Finance Act. We have the FIRS. So many people, and we have SMIDA. They define SMEs, but SMEs are principally overall maybe like your turnover, the whole of your business generation capacity in the year is not up to 100 million naira. That's the people they are calling SMEs. So they say there are about 17.4 million of them, various form of businesses, from block making to tailoring to fashion to ICT. So name them. Bread, what do they call this? Does bread baking and other. They are all in these SMEs. But like I said, their turnover is not up to 100 million, depending on whoever is working, looking at them. 17.4 million people are engaged in SMEs, and their output account for 50% of all the jobs in the industries and 90% of the manufacturing sector specifically in terms of enterprise. Then according to the National Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with SMIDA, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, the sector, that is the SM sector, is strategically positioned to absorb up to 80% of jobs, improve per capita income, increase value addition to raw material supply, improve import earnings, enhance capacity utilization in key industry, and unlock economic expansion and GDP growth. This is a truism. This is the real story. This is the real contribution of SMEs to the development of Nigeria. They can employ up to 80% of all the jobs in Nigeria. I'm sure you are also doing something. Maybe it's not you alone. You have one or two people. It could be family members. Unknown to you, have employed them. because at the end of the day, I'm sure something will drop for them too from the business we are doing. So the SME sector is a major player in the economic growth of Nigeria. And so this potential is what government wants to explore and expand. But it realized that there exists a missing middle. What is the something is missing, which is that SMEs still find it hard to access funds. If you go to a regular bank, commercial bank, or microfinance banks are even worse. If you go to a major lender, a commercial bank, and you want to take a loan today, they might tell you to go and wake up your mother. If your mother is dead, for instance, they might ask all manner of questions. Apart from the questions, they will require so many things from you. They will ask, first of all, there's what they call collateral. You must go and bring it. The chances are that most SMEs, they don't have collateral. Many of you who are already participating in this, you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you don't have anything that you pledge as a collateral to get a loan. So that is why government is coming through this particular program, the AGSMEIS program. So the AGSMEIS loan scheme is government's response and solution to the missing middle, that is the lack of funds, providing affordable and easily accessible funds to this vibrant and explosive sector with a very high potential to be a major backbone. Apart from collateral and all that, another major factor concerning the ability of SMEs to get loan, to get fund, is even the interest rate. Even when you have all this collateral, you have all manner of things. How do you even pay back? Because the interest rate in commercial banks is not less than 25% per annum. And there are a lot of other things in the building. As in microfinance banks, if you don't take time, you go and enter. Most people who take loans from microfinance bank have always fared worse than when the loan was taken. The reason is they will tell you they might not understand it. The microfinance bank will tell you 3% per annum, 3% per month. That is what that's kind of interest rate they charge. %3 per month. What will be called 30. Okay, sorry. One of the issues we have always network issues and all that. But whatever it is, we must get to hear ourselves today. We are still discussing the components of the AGSMEIS. We are on the SME sector now. So we're trying to say that because of the realization that people are not able to access loans access funding for their businesses, the government came out with this initiative to give a soft landing, more or less, to entrepreneurs, people who are genuinely in some kind of business. So the AGSMEIS loan scheme is therefore government's response and solution to the missing middle, which is a lack of funds, providing affordable and easily accessible funds to this vibrant and explosive sector with a very high potential. We want the government wants our SME sector to play the kind of role that they play elsewhere in the world. And so they came up with the AGSMEIS program. So
I'm not buying it. If I go, if the other risk, the other manager know the risk, that one travel. I'll just
we are going to go having known haven't heard about government's mindset concerning entrepreneurship. Let us even also discuss entrepreneurship itself. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the process of starting and running a business enterprise. Simply put, that is entrepreneurship. If you have started ABC and company, you might not even have started it in the business name, but the fact that you started something value adding, you are already an entrepreneur. And this project, like I said, is about tuning up your entrepreneurial mindset. And so the process of starting and running a business enterprise involves investing capital in resources like people and in development of products to create viable commercial enterprise. Is the capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with any of its risk. Businesses involve risk before you make profit. There's no business as big as they might seem today that did not start on a risky note. So the fact that your own is not going well now, it's just answering to the nature, the call of nature. And there are a lot of risks that need to be taken for you to be able to make to move forward. The most obvious example of entrepreneurship is the starting of new business. Most of you started something already. You are doing one project or the other. And let me also let you know that agriculture, even though most people know that to start agriculture is like, one of the easiest aspects of business, it's also a full-time entrepreneurship. So you need to concentrate and fine-tune whatever you are doing, even also in the agricultural value chain. So entrepreneurial spirit is characterized by innovation and risk-taking. I explained that innovation is you have to be searching for a major solution. And then it's an essential part of a nation's ability to succeed in an ever-changing and increasingly, I've been explaining that entrepreneurship is the only thing that can take us to the next level in this country. So an entrepreneur is a person who takes the risk of investing his money, time, passion in development of a business or several businesses. Even the time that you are taking to undertake this program is also a part of your entrepreneurial quest. So for an entrepreneur, innovation is key, knowledge is power, and then you have to work in a team and provide leadership, and then of course must tolerate risk to be able to move ahead. So look at how somebody defined an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is someone who jumps off of a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. This is a very loaded statement. You just took off from a cliff. A cliff is a high land or something, maybe on top of a hill or something, and you jump and you are coming down, not knowing how it will end. That is what is an entrepreneurship. This is the person that developed that particular statement that we just said now. So who is an entrepreneur? Like again, it's an individual who starts a new business venture, a company. He arranges the business and takes the risk in order to make. One of the things that we are studying today is all about what we call the profit motive. The profit motive means you have to fine tune your business to the fact that you have to make a profit. It's not, we are not studying this for you to run an NGO or to run a motherless baby home and all that, even though that one too will also be an entrepreneurial venture. But it's not an NGO. NGO is non-governmental organizations. Their own is not the profit motive. But what we are studying today, we are talking about the entrepreneur we are referring to, somebody who takes risk, who arranges and starts businesses with the profit motive in mind. That is in order to make profit. Uh-huh. What does an entrepreneur do actually? He identifies a need that no existing businesses addresses and determines a solution for that need. See, mustn't identify a need that no businesses address. You can also run on existing on what other businesses are done. But the most important is how can you create it? How can you make a difference? So entrepreneur who regularly launches new businesses, sell them, and then starts new business is a serial entrepreneur. That means you can into so many things. Dangote, for instance, a leading entrepreneur in Nigeria, is into so many things. I've been mentioning Dangote, examples of successful entrepreneurs. Steve Jobs, who co-founded Apple. Some of you have your iPhones and all that. If you don't have iPhone, you have so many products by Apple. It's one of the largest companies in Nigeria, in the world rather, in the world. One of the largest companies in the world. Even in America, it's ranking very high. iPad, iTunes, what was this? The musical, I, yes, almost so many things by Apple. Every year now you keep hearing about iPhone this, iPhone that. Currently, they just brought out iPhone 12. Before the end of March or April, now you hear iPhone 13, all manner of things. So Steve Jobs is a major successful entrepreneur. The second person we are seeing is Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. Microsoft, all your systems today, most of them are running on Microsoft. Microsoft Office, if you have Excel, you have PowerPoint, you have the Word, the simple one, Microsoft Word. All of them, almost all computers are running on in one form or the other on Microsoft. These two people, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they gave rise to what I can call the world of information in the world. Because most of the things we have, it's either they are running iOS by Steve Jobs, or they are running on the platform of Microsoft. So these are major, major, major examples of successful entrepreneurs in the world. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Examples of, okay, Mark Zuckerberg, the co-founder and owner of Facebook. He was in Lagos about 4 or 5 years ago when somebody saw him moving about on the streets of Yaba. Like, Mark Zuckerberg just walking alone like that, no fear of kidnapping and other. You know, kidnappers, if they want to make a major story, if they could kidnap such a person, this Mark Zuckerberg is a very influential person, and most Nigerians run or have Facebook accounts. I'm aware of Twitter, but I can assure you that most Nigerians, school children and all that, they have Facebook accounts more than any other social media. See, a simple explanation on his this. They say he's the co-founder and owner of Facebook. He saw the need for interpersonal communication among people and developed the social networking service from Harvard University dormitory in 2004. 5 years after, he had over 500 million users, and today over 2 billion people has use Facebook, and the revenue $6 billion. $6 billion is more than the budget of the federal government of Nigeria by far. So, and only one human being developed that app. Now let's look at Nigerian. Before I go, between Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is of blessed memory. Steve Jobs died some years back. Now, somebody that I've not shown here is Elon Musk. I don't know if you have heard about Tesla or spacecraft. This man suddenly, from nowhere, became the richest person in the latest published accounts of rich people in the world. And people like Facebook founder and other, they are trailing him. So those are major entrepreneurs in the world. Let's look at Nigeria now. Examples of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs. To the left is Tony Elumelu, chairman of UBA, chairman Health Holding, chairman Transcorp Hilton Hotel. Next to him is Mike Adenuga. Mike Adenuga is a founder of a Glow. Most of you, I'm sure you are aware of Glow. Many of you are using Glow phones. Then we have Dangote. I've been speaking about Dangote. You all know him. Dangote sugar, Dangote cement. Cement is even his flagship product. Now Dangote refinery. The next 2 years now, the man will be supplying the whole of Nigeria and West Africa with PMS. We will not have to spend foreign exchange. I don't know how he will be selling to us, whether at a rebate or anything, but we will not have to use foreign exchange. We can buy with Naira. Next to Dangote is Femi Otedola, who recently sold off his shares in Xenon Oil and other. It's also a very rich Nigerian. Then next, oil business. This is Alakija, who is, they call them Fanfa Oil. We have one of the largest oil block in the country. Very rich. These are major examples of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs. Who says that you cannot be a successful Nigerian entrepreneur yourself? I look forward to hearing that so person who received a training at AMES Associate EDI so years ago. In the next 5 years, 10 years, he has developed a product that is ranking by far. I'll give you an example. 2 students from a school called Babcock University. Babcock University is in Ogun State, in Lishan or whatever, in Ogun State, very close to Shagamu. They developed an app called Paystack. Paystack. This Paystack was bought by Facebook at more than $50 million. Young Nigerian children, 2 years ago, they bought, is it last year? They bought Paystack from them. So who said that you cannot do something that is viable in this country? So your business shall succeed, definitely. And okay, these are just explanatory notes. I've already explained. I've spoken about Dangote. I hear this took 500,000 naira loan from his uncle to finance his business. Today is Africa's richest man with vast interest in cement, sugar, oil and gas, and a host of other businesses. Tony Lumelu, like I mentioned, chairman of UBA, made a fortune in banking, building and empowering new entrepreneurs across Africa through his channel called Hair's Holding. Hair's Holding promotes entrepreneurship in the whole of Africa. Gives loans to a lot of people. You see him, I'm sure you watch CNN, you see him giving out loans to a lot of Africans. Now, this particular person is not well known to all of us. His name is, this man, you are seeing that his name is Nnamdi Ezeigu. He's the founder and CEO of Slot and co-founder of Techno. I'm sure by fact, I'm sure many of you, and Infinix. These Techno and Infinix phone brands are all over Nigeria. Many of you now are already accessing us or seeing us through your Techno or Infinix phone. I personally have also a Techno phone. So that particular person, that's Nnamdi, who founded this co-founder, is a major example of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs. Somebody that will not disclose here, Leo Stanley Eke, Synox Technologies. The man makes computers in Nigeria. So many success stories about Nigerians that are making waves worldwide. Your own too can be a major success story any moment from now. This Nnamdi say he was looking for work after his NYC in 1996. Then he joined a computer repair shop as an apprentice and eventually settled down as a computer repairer after qualifying. From there, he migrated to selling computers and then eventually cell phones. Today, he's controlling millions, producing and selling his own cell phone, which is one of the fastest phone brands, Techno and Infinix, in Nigeria. Major example of people who will be role models to a lot of Nigerian entrepreneurs. So many of them that we can't continue. I'm sure within your locality, you know somebody who is doing something which is so value adding as an entrepreneur. Please, my own advice that I've always given people is that when you see somebody doing well, don't many people will now start speaking evil of such person, but try to emulate them and see how you can also start something and become big in it. There are different types of entrepreneurs. We have the builder who believe in building empire and infrastructure like Dangote. We have the innovator, somebody starts a business because of his passion for innovation. We have the specialist who packages skill, expertising to viable business plan. And you have the opportunist. All these are textbook things which you can read. Meanwhile, this whole slide will be shared with you later on today. So this type of entrepreneurship, like I say, is textbook driven. These are classical things that you need to read when you are seated and read about them. All you need to know is that there are different types of entrepreneurs: the builder, the innovator, the specialist, the opportunist. Yeah, so many of them. So what they do and what they don't do is already provided in this write-up. Okay, so the meaning of that is that all entrepreneurs are not the same. And what works for one will not necessarily work for another. Some are innovator builders, others are specialist opportunities. So which one are you need to identify your own DNA, identify what exactly is driving you to do what you are doing. What might work for you might not work for another person. So please identify what can work for you. What works for one entrepreneur might not work for another. So we have other categorization of entrepreneurship. We have mono-entrepreneur, which means mono from that. You know that it's only one, that person is doing only one product. An entrepreneur who does one type of business, that is a mono-entrepreneur. Then you have the multi-entrepreneur or serial entrepreneur, like I explained earlier, person who does different types of businesses. Richard Branson is also a classical example of somebody who does a lot of things. Virgin Atlantic Airways, Virgin Trains. If you have gone to the UK and have not entered the Virgin train, Virgin Galactico. That one is a space ship that the man built that takes people to Mars, to all the spaces and all that. So many kind of things that the man does. Then now, having learned about background story about entrepreneurship and the types and all that, and with examples of solid entrepreneurs, both worldwide and Nigeria. Now we need to look at the types of businesses that drives entrepreneurship. So what kind of businesses are you considering? I know you have something in your mind. So there are several types of business that an entrepreneur can consider going on into in Nigeria. A simple talent or passion can trigger off a business that can be a means of livelihood for an entrepreneur. Simple talent. Two young Nigerian graduates who had not even started doing it much of Babcock University developed a fintech app. Fintech is financial technology app, which was sold for over $50 million. That is, they were driven by their talent and, of course, passion. When you have talent, you must also have a passion to be able to trigger off something. So the type of business that you can talk about, look at them. Fashion designing is a major thing that most, in fact, tailors now, they call them, every tailor is also a fashion designer. So fashion can be different types, different categories, different. My pastor talks about a particular lady. Sometimes, while searching for work, she started look for work all over. She couldn't get employment like many people today, and then started a business, a hat making business, and named the business a heart attack. Heart attack. This is not the heart attack that the doctors look. This was HAT attack, and started selling, making the hearts. I'm talking of those hats that ladies wear in front of you. That if you are in church, you might not be able to see front properly. So they started selling this. Today, that lady is a it's a mega business person, entrepreneur in that business, and he never regretted it. And you can see Techno. When we looked at Techno, the man was looking for a job, he couldn't get a job, and started something. What I'm also challenging you that you can start something. When people say they can't find job and they are not doing anything, you can. What if somebody said, if you say you can't get anything, there is farming to do. There's even where they are making blog. Try and engage yourself. But the entrepreneurial spirit, I'm sure it will drive most of you who are doing it. Fashion is one, farming. Different types of farming, crop farming. This farming now is not just about going to the farm. Now we have fish farming, we have poultry farming, we have piggery, we have goat rearing. So many things, they all come under farming. It's not the farming of I'm going to plant maize or plant corn. No, maize and corn now. Or plant rice or plant cassava. These all manner of things come under this farming. Small scale manufacturing. There are so many things that can you can do. Assuming somebody wants to do gari processing, he goes to buy cassava, and he has a small machine that turns it into gari. It comes under this kind of small scale manufacturing. Catering is another business that you can consider or to enter. There's my young niece started. She's still in school in the university, and she started what they call making what they call small chops. All these small meat pie and the like. And then after starting that, today, to cut the long story short, she told me not long ago that she makes between 80 and 100,000 every month. Young lady who is still in the university. You can imagine that such person now, when they come out of the university, they don't even need to go and look for federal fire service or immigration or road safety, because he's already earning this. And I'm sure by then she would have perfected more. Buying and selling is another business that you can do. This buying and selling. Some people buy some things at the season, maybe the season of maize. Buy them, store them, take advantage when the prices will go up. Because prices will always go up, especially when it's not the harvest. Event management. This is another major one. A big event, big thing that can happen that you can go into. In fact, this one can be funded by NISA very easily. Event management. If you go to any town now, you come to those halls, those event where they do weddings and all that. If you go to some of them, they put all manner of things, air conditioning system and all that. Put social media backup for them. Event management. Animal husbandry. Okay, I explained animal husbandry a little. Goat farming, piggery, cattle rearing. All those ones come under animal. School business, daycare, nursery, primary, high school. School business is also a major thing that you can do. If you have the money you need to do there, you can start from somewhere. You can start from a room with 10 students. Before you know it, my cousin in the village, while they were doing during the lockdown, because schools were not going there, she now converted one of their rooms and started running a class over there. And now that thing, even though schools have opened, they have turned it to like an evening class, and people pay money because they get quality education from there. Hospitality and eateries, restaurants, snack shops, fine, fantastic. Digital currency investment is I used to hear it on radio. People foreign exchange trading and all. I don't know what exactly they do there, but it's also a line of business. Photography. The president's daughter, understand, is a mega photography business person. The daughter of President Muhammad Buhari. They had to even fly a presidential airplane one time to go to Bauchi to go and take pictures. I'm sure those who does this photography at weddings and all that, they earn a lot of money. Publishing, of course, is something that can also be considered. Dry cleaning. Dry cleaning, you need a lot of things. Dry cleaning, get the machines, get a get a good location and all that. You make it very easily. Cosmetics, beauty, and makeup artists. These makeup people, even my own child, while she learned this makeup from Nigeria, she traveled to the UK while in school there, was earning a lot of pound sterling from makeup. When they want to go to wedding and all that, she makes them up. Health services, hospitals, lab, to do lab businesses that you can think of. These are just sometimes there are, it's not all, there are so many things that you can do in Nigeria to make ends meet. Now let's talk about vocational skills. There's a very big shortage of people in this category. Electricians, plumbing, carpentry, masonry. These are things that you can engage or get your children and other to start learning, because they will always find something to do. Electrician must always get work to be done. Plumbers, buildings are coming up everywhere, every time, especially during the dry season. So you must always get work. So there's a great demand for vocational skills and a depth of available skills. One thing participants may consider to acquire the requisite knowledge. There's nothing wrong with you doing 1, 2, 3 things at a time. It's just for you to be able to manage your time, manage your resources, and ensure that you build up. So you get build up your vocational skills in any of those areas. There are several other things that you can do in this to take up vocational training. Now, if you want to go into business, what do you look for? Then what do you consider? First of all, is there a demand for the business? Let me give an example. You want to go into block making. You don't just start block making everywhere. You can't start block making in the center of a city. You must look for where there's demand for blocks. And where would that be? You move out into the side or into where it is where buildings can spring up. That is where you can do block making. That means where there's a demand matters a lot. Where there's a demand matters a lot. Many businesses fail simply because they set up a business that sold products and services people don't need. The same example I'm making. If you go to want to do a block making something and you set it up in Maitama, even though you can get small something, it cannot be as busy as where they are building, close to where they are building an estate. In Maitama, people might not need blocks that much. Then people set up a business that produce or sell products and services that people want but cannot afford. Some people make the mistake of doing something, of setting up a business of product that, of course, people cannot afford. If you set it up there, if you are, somebody was selling block at so high cost because his machines were very, very expensive, imported and ordered. So for him to be able to make any profit, he had to increase the price. And so nobody was coming to buy. So if you do that, it will be a problem for you. Now, we are still looking at things to consider. You will need to ask, are there other people doing similar business or are you bringing something new to the table? Okay, there are two things here. Where you are going to make your block, are there other block companies around that place? Now, even if there are people there, are you going to do something to make a difference? Somebody started a block industry close to where somebody else was already there. But he now came up with a novel idea to tag his own block, tag it beautifully, package the block better, and it became an instant success compared to the person who was there before. Now, if you are starting a business in an area where the market is already saturated, the business might fail as you may find you are struggling just to keep up. So that is the importance of making sure that you are doing something different. Maybe your packaging would be different from what the other person is doing. And then it's also important to do some research to find out areas where the competition is not properly serving the customers and position. All this is about creating a difference. Look at competition. What is competition? That what are other people doing? And try to better it up. And then as an entrepreneur, you have to work hard to differentiate your product and bring something different. We have explained that. So you have to do what we call unique selling point. A musician, one of these I don't know what do they call their category in Nigeria now. He came up with one. He said, "What is your selling for?" Probably talking to a lady. What is your selling for? What do you have that other people don't have? What is the difference between you and others? So you must have what we call unique selling point. On Thursday, when you go through the sales and marketing strategy for your business, you hear about unique selling point more. Then you find out something that makes your business stand out is critical. But we have explained that creating a difference to make your make or mar your business. Now, okay, we are still discussing what you need to consider. Determine what needs out there. Like I said, for the block making industry that we're saying, are there needs for the block? Then what businesses exist? Are there people running that will need blocks around that people? Are there major people, estate or something coming up there? If there is no business currently satisfying those, and then you have many block making people already in that area. So that means because there might not be market for you. So market consideration is very important. And then the cost of carrying out the business, maybe you need to rent an empty plot of land, maybe somebody's plot, because you might not likely buy a plot yourself because you want to make a block. So the cost of doing that, you need to consider it. And then you need to consider what needs are. Okay, we have asked that question. You'll be surprised that what you find out about business is when you ask questions. So ask questions. You don't just go and start doing something. Ask questions. Then you can also even post a Facebook, something on your Facebook wall. I want to start a block making industry at so place, and start listening to, looking at comments of people. People might say, "I know there are so many other ones around that place." Then there are, if you are advanced enough, you read journals, you read online sites that give free information about market surveys and all that. But principally look around and observe things. You'll be surprised what you will find when you observe things. Learn from Bill Gates and learn from Steve Jobs, a blessed memory. Now let's look at what exactly are the issues when you want to start a business. What is it that can make you not to have a a major push or a major success in starting a business, like we have explained, and nobody will need to explain. Money. Money is very, very important. Money is a major barrier to starting a small business. This is the most vital resource an entrepreneur needs to start a business, and probably the most critical too to starting a business. After money, the next thing is lack of knowledge. You might have money, but you don't even know how to combine. You don't know how to manage the money because your knowledge level is very low. Part of the reason for this training is to enhance your knowledge level as an entrepreneur. So lack of knowledge is very important. For instance, when at the peak and low seasons of your business, you need to have all that in consideration. Now, what sudden change can affect the business? There are so many things that you need to know. Government policies, taxes, and other. Every year now, from 3 years ago now, okay, this is the second year, the government comes up with what they call Finance Act. The Finance Act has a lot of provisions that can either increase your tax or reduce them. In most cases for SMEs, it's a reduction of this. For instance, now in the current Tax Finance Act, if you are doing a turnover of less than 25 million, you will not pay tax in Nigeria any longer. These are information that you need. You will not pay tax. If you are into agricultural production, primary agricultural production, they give you what they call they give you a tax holiday called the pioneer status. You won't pay tax for the next 4 years, and then you can be renewed for another next 4 years. These are information that you need. And then the products, are they perishable? If you want to start growing tomatoes, for instance, you need to be able to see where you can sell very, very quickly, because within a week after harvesting, they will start going back. Would the business be able to generate cash? You will have to sell on credit. See, as an entrepreneur, don't think that credit sale is wrong. Credit selling on credit is not wrong. It's also a way of attracting customers and getting people to patronize you always. For us, those of us that are accountants, when we see a book of account and there's no credit, no creditors, we believe that the person has not started business. By the time your business is only to sell in cash, we are also aware of the problem in Nigeria that maybe you sell on credit, you will not see the person again. So you won't sell on credit to everybody. You must sell on credit to those who you know of consideration. And then how long does it take to produce your goods, and will it affect your ability? See, now, your block making example that we're talking about, assuming you have a large order, how long do you have the capacity to be able to produce 3,000 blocks within 1 week, for instance? So these are major considerations when we are starting your business. And then some people are not determined. No, determination is very key. Commitment and determination in doing your business is very, look at it, you have to develop courage of a bulldog, and they call it the bulldog tenacity. You have to be determined to push through. Let no distraction just stop you because you have a a little challenge. You need determination to keep you focused, pick up when you fail or face rejection. See, the people, that this popular quote is not that you will not fail. It's how you rise up after you fail that's important. So determination will carry you through to look for solutions and strategies to make the business a success, even when it is trying to fail. Now, do you have fear? Fear, of course, is a great enemy. It's a great enemy of destiny, like pastors will tell you. It's a great enemy of business too. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to people starting a business. What if I fail? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I'm rejected and people say no? So these are things that will be striking your mind when you are trying to start something. People like Bill Gates, Thomas Edison, Honda, the Wright brothers either failed or were rejected at a time. The Wright brothers that invented the aeroplane, of course, they must have failed. They couldn't have just built something and then the thing would just fly into the sky and move several kilometers away and all that. Yeah. So fear is one of the greatest, but how to conquer fear is a major difference between you and the other people. Now, lack of support. Of course, you might have everything working for you, but you don't have support. Many businesses lack support in critical areas of need. This includes areas like funding. New financiers are willing to support small, few financiers. If you are just starting small, banks, they will not even want to extend credit facility to you. They say you don't have experience. Now, as time goes on, and specifically on Friday, we'll talk about this more. If you are a startup, even for this particular loan that is up to 10 million now, if you are just starting, don't expect that they will give you 10 million. If you are a startup, the maximum they can give you is even 5 million. And when they critically interview and look at you, I'm talking of this particular loan program now. So it's not that all of you fit 10 million, 10 million. They will not give you 10 million rand. They will look at your history, your capacity. They will look at what you are doing before give you such a level of support. Now, there are also legal and regulatory support. Difficulty in fulfilling registration requirements for companies. You will hear about that on Friday, how to register companies and all that. You might not be able to do something. Of course, financial considerations and all that. So, legal and regulatory support. So, lack of support can break you down when you are trying to start your business. But I ask and I request that you make up your mind. You have made up your mind. You will see to the end of this business. Stay in power. That is resilience. Stay in power. After all these challenges, do you have the staying power to still continue, or you chicken out at the end of the day? So most startup lack the staying power. So the moment they encounter a few challenges, they give up. Don't give up, my brother. Don't give up, my sister. Don't give up. See to the end of your vision. See to the end of your initiative. If entrepreneurship is what you really want to go into, you must stay the course and not give up. Stay the course. Have a staying power. Have resilience. Not just because something happened along the way. Wanted to start a block making this. Wanted to start a block making this. Paid for an empty space. Of course, like I said, most of the plots will not be for sale. If somebody's plot, maybe the person has not started building. And then after setting up, within 1 month, the real owner of the land, he didn't know that he bought this from a park. The real owner of the land came and said, he wants to start a building. Following day, he came with bulldozer to remove all his things. Such people will be so discouraged, they will be so disjointed, they will be so, what language do I use now? They'll be so taken back. But the issue is, after that issue, will you go to some other place? Will you look for a solution? So that is what staying power does to you. Sources of funding for small business, let me explain them. Equity. You are now informing somebody to come and take a stake in your business. Guys, you are the block making industry. I've been using that a lot just to strike on some points. We have opened a company, ABC Enterprises, that you are using as a vehicle. You are telling you have the paid up capital, the whole money you have for the block making business 2 million, and you see that your demand is going up and up and up, and you don't know how to generate more money. You now approach one of your friends, the financier, and all that. Please, they come and take 50% stake in this business. At the end of the year or whatever period to make account, you share the profit and loss together. That is, you are asking somebody to come and become a part owner of the business. That's what equity. Loans. The primary reason why you are undertaking this training is because you don't have enough money for your business, so you are looking for a loan. And this particular loan that we are studying now is also, there are several other loans. So loans, you are taking a loan from somebody to fund your business. At the end of the day, the loans, you have to repay the interest on the loan. Like this particular one now, you pay interest at 9%. But now, because of COVID, up to end of March this year, it's at 5%. But thereafter, from 1st of April, the loans go to 9% per annum. These government loans. Then you have grants. There are grants that government gives people. There's recently a lot of government decided to help, especially for reasons known to all of us, COVID and all that. And they gave small businesses, schools and all that. They gave them a salary support to be able to pay their staff or their workers, their teachers, and not just that. There are several other ones. You hear about so many artisans. They are giving. I read in the paper that they want to give 5,000 to about how many people in Abuja, 500,000 or thereabout. All these are grants. There's even the COVID aspect of this loan. COVID loan, or they call it loan, but I understand those loans will not be asked back. So there are so many things that you can get as grants. There are a lot of NGOs and other that give grants, especially in agriculture. They give grants, cooperative loans. Sometimes you are a member of a cooperative, and then you can take loan. Maybe look at your staff cooperative. In people who are working, sometimes they have a cooperative. Every month they pay money into it. So when you want to take, you can take loan from such organizations. Then crowdfunding. This one is like this. I'm doing a piggery business. That crowdfunding is particularly very relevant in in agri business. I'm doing a piggery business. Please come and subscribe to part fund the growth of the pigs. I'm not asking you to come and know how to manage the distance. I have a company, ABC Piggeries. So I'll now advertise. Most of these crowdfunding are done on the internet. I will advertise and say we are looking for people to subscribe for 4 months, depending on how long it will take a pig to grow. To subscribe to the internet. We are asking the crowd to fund this in online, and then a lot of people will be sending money. A major company in Nigeria, Farm Crowdy, that is how they raise their money. Farm Crowdy. Ask anybody, Farm Crowdy, or Google them. Farm Crowdy. There are many of the other ones, but that's one I can know now. They ask you to fund their projects online, and then at the end of the day, you share in the profit of whatever it is. Maybe pig, to grow a pig, maybe to full maturity, before sales, maybe 7 months or thereabout. After the 7th month, they pay you with an interest. That is what is called crowdfunding. Crowd, very many people. Funding, you already know what funding is. These are just the explanations. We are not going to go and explain what equity, what loan is, what loans, what grants are, what sorts of grants in Nigeria, SMIDA, that small and medium enterprise development agency of Nigeria, they give a lot of. DFI, the Department for International Development, that is a UK funding agency, United Kingdom. They give grants to farmers, they give grants to various business areas. Bank of Industry, this one calling, it's supposed to be loan, I think they call them loan, that are being implemented through the Bank of Industry. Federal government on easy money, so money, this is money, and all that. They are all done through the Bank of Industry. MTN, so many people give grants in Nigeria. I have cooperative loans, we have already explained that. Crowdfunding, look at the process of raising funds from individuals through the internet. I said that already. Through the internet, the entrepreneur approaches the individual through a recognized platform and makes a pitch about their product or business. The individual sending money either for a reward or for a return. In most cases, for a return. Now, we have come to the end of our presentation for today. And so, all we have been discussing about entrepreneurship, sources of funding for entrepreneurship, things to consider before you go into types of business activities that you can engage in, examples of this and that. I want you to ask questions, who is an entrepreneur and all that. Please feel free to talk about entrepreneurship and ask questions. And then we discuss the loan scheme itself, the agri-business small and medium enterprises investment scheme. Please, we want to test your understanding by you asking some questions, the components of AGSMEIS, the objectives, we went with the training outline. But most importantly, I'm bringing this again back. If your salary is your only source of income, you are one step away from poverty. But you have chosen the right path, you have decided to embrace the government efforts to diversify the economy of the country through this loan scheme. So please, let's hear from you. If you have anything to ask, you can raise up your hand, then we'll ask you to, then you unmute yourself and then you speak. So thank you, and I wish, and I pray that this will not just be in vain. To pay for this training, to create time for listing the various facilitators and others. It will not be in vain. I do hope that things will work out. We had a meeting, an explosive meeting with the management of the NISA Microfinance Bank earlier on today. I had a Zoom meeting with them, and they have said that from February this year, February is just a few days ahead. From February this year, what they intend to be doing is they are going to they are actually going to they are going to automate the launch process. Automation. They're going to put it. Now they are doing it manually. Now they are going to put some workflows. As right now, what we do is that you will be called to either come and do a virtual interview or a physical interview. But they have developed some forms so that as soon as your business plan is uploaded into their website, into their portal, automatically you also fill those forms. They use those forms to be able to know whether you are qualified or not. And so, and now they will let people know as soon as possible that their loans have been approved. You can say loan approved, awaiting disbursement. You can say loan in being considered, all manner, so that you can have because what happens now is that some people have been trained for the past 6 weeks, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Nobody has called them for interview. That will stop from February this year. So while wishing you all the best in this process, I'm convinced that you have chosen us, and we are anointing you to ensure that you end well in this thing. These questions and answers. Questions, questions, questions. If you have any question on anything, you can even ask anything general concerning the loan. It might not be on entrepreneurship. You can even ask based on if you cannot ask physically, you can also send us a chat. We have a chat and ask
Hello.
you can put your question on
Hello.
our chat box. Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Welcome.
This is Zacchaeus calling from Niger State.
Okay. Ghana Zacchaeus.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Calling from Niger State.
Okay,
yes, sir. The question I want to ask, if you are writing your executive summary, particularly you want to cite your business in rural areas where you cannot access the data either with the Bureau of Statistics or others, what do you have to back your data up to convince the people of your business? Hello? Hello, sir. Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I said if you want to start a business,
yes,
then you need a data to back your business plan up.
Upload.
That is, you are working on like forecast business that you want to start in a rural area where the data is not compared to the state, or you would find it difficult to access the data. How do you convince people? Because when you put up a business plan, you have nothing to back it up by data that this is the output from this area, this is the demand, this is how you want to improve it, and you are backing it up with any organization or any authority. They will think maybe you are just promoting stories based on your own ideas. So what do you have to back it up? Hello? Hello, sir. Hello? Network. Hello? Hello, sir.
Sure.
Yes.
Just hold on a moment.
Okay, sir.
There's a chat like that. Give it to me. Remove only the head, only the rope. Okay. Yes. Zacchaeus. I wanted to find out the kind of business you are interested in starting.
In my place here, they produce rice.
Yes, rice. Yeah.
They farm rice from my side here. But the problem we are having is the processing. We are processing below the quality.
You are processing.
That's usually below the quality demand. If we want to improve it.
Okay, you process you grow the rice and process them. When you say process, you have like in the rice mill. Ghana the truth is that your network, I'm not hearing you properly. But let me just give a general advice. It doesn't matter wherever your business. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I say it doesn't actually matter where your business is located. I don't know if you are talking about social media campaign or so. Are you referring to something like social media? Because we are also talking about business plan and other. The most successful agribusiness projects are even in the rural areas. You understand?
Yes.
Where you are in Niger State. Yes, where you are in Niger State, I'm aware that a lot of people grow rice over there. Some grow and sell by pack. Then others also sell by way of milling them. And others. I want to assure you that for rice, you don't really need any major campaign because rice must be sold. As I'm talking to you now, we have a lot of people we call paddy aggregators. Paddy aggregators are working over there in Niger State, buying rice from farmers. So the rice business that you are giving an example of, you don't need much campaign. When I say campaign, you don't even need to advertise that much. The only people already know where rice is grown. You have paddy aggregators that are all over buying rice from farmers in Niger State, in Nasarawa State, in Benue State, in Kebbi State. Yes. Almost all this rice growing birds. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
When we are talking about this campaign and advertising and other, like somebody will be discussing selling and marketing strategy, it will not apply in almost or in many areas. For instance, but if you are talking about you are producing a kind of soap, soap that's new in the market, even though it has the ingredients of all other, those are the kind of marketing things that you need to do. You understand? For rice, it's a major push. Everybody knows rice in Nigeria. Rice is the most staple food in the country. They are looking for rice to buy. I will even establish a normal this thing with you because if you have any issue with rice, I know how I can help. And I'm even interested myself. Thank you very much. Questions? Yeah. Do we have further questions? If you ask anything that is bothering you concerning this loan that you are trying to apply for, any question at all? We looked at the business areas, I mean business projects that are funded, businesses that can be funded. Somebody was trying to say something. Maria. Maria, were you trying to say something? Okay. If there are no questions, hello, yes. We can't hear you. Okay, your network is not too stable. If you cannot put it, you can also use the chat. This now, type in something, we'll pick it from there. We don't seem to be hearing you now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Okay, but
okay,
go ahead.
Okay, during the lectures, you were saying something about the line was breaking as at when you were talking about the scheme going online or digital, something like that. I didn't get that part.
Okay, about something going on digital.
You said that the scheme is going digital from is it from February?
No, okay, let me explain that. We have been complaining to NISAL Microfinance Bank
Okay.
on behalf of our applicants that some of them done this training. Their business plans have been uploaded on their portal for 5 months, for 6 months, no information from them.
Okay.
Because after we put your business plan on them, they are supposed to ask you to come and attend an interview, but they are also doing the interview like we are doing now, but not on face to face like this. They will call you on phone and ask you some certain question. They will say you are Maria, and
Yes.
you say that you want to do fashion designing and all that. They will ask you to defend why you want the loan. They first of all ask you how much do you want. You say 10 million. They will ask you, have you been in business? Have you been doing this business? You say, okay, maybe I've been doing it. How long have you been doing it? You say 3 years. How what are your profit? What are your monthly profit like? If you have been doing the business, how much have you been generating as a profit? See, the reason why they're asking those questions is that this is a loan. This all of you should have it at the back of your mind. This is not a grant. That is number one. Okay, it's not a grant, so the loan must be paid back. This loan is payable within 7 years. Some people will pay quarterly, some people pay monthly, but within 7 years. But first of all, they will give you up to 1 year for you to put yourself in order. I mean, to delay the business start before they start giving you the loan. So the loan is payable within 7 years. So they want to find out that can the business generate enough money to be able to pay back this loan. And then let me also let you know too, it's also because you have asked the right question. This loan now, if you it's not a government grant, just because it's coming from a central bank and all that doesn't make it look as if it's a grant they are giving. So put up your mind that you have to work very hard to make sure this loan succeeds when you are giving, and to make sure your business prosper to be able to generate enough cash flow to be able to pay the loan back. They have what they call global standing instruction now in central bank. In fact, it's not just among all the banks. You know, they ask you for your BVN. You don't know why they ask for BVN. No, they are government, and so they are asking for. They have a reason. They are now asking everyone to put their name. If you don't have name now, you can't even own a phone. If you don't have name, you can't apply for passport, you can't apply for driver's license, you can't do so many. Now they have your BVN. Now the importance of that is that when they have your BVN, if they give you this loan, maybe they give you 6 million, and then they will give you what we call a repayment plan. After the 1 year, they will say maybe on a monthly basis, that 6 million, maybe you'll be paying 200,000. That includes principal and interest to the bank. And for 3 months, or 4 months, 5 months, you do not pay. They are saying that you are defaulting. You know what they will do? They will search for your account. Maybe because you have account at Zenith, or you have account at GT Bank or First Bank, you think you are safe. They will use that global standing instruction and go into your account in First Bank, in Union Bank, in Zenith, in wherever you have it, and just remove that money that you think you are putting there and come and say to your this. And if you think you can, that is not enough, you won't, because of that, you can't keep money at home. If you keep money at home, they will come and thief you, even come and take the money from you. So you must open an account in a bank. Immediately you open an account in a bank, BVN. The first thing ask for now is BVN. So you can't run away. They will ask for your BVN again. Maybe this time again you went to Access, thinking that maybe you went far. You went to Tukpo, thinking that okay, maybe because these people saw me in Abuja, you went to Tukpo and open account at Access Bank, thinking that they will not see you. They will see that BVN again. They say this lady has migrated to another place. They will hit that account again. which means you cannot run a bank account in Nigeria. And if you don't run a bank account in Nigeria, all the money you are collecting every evening, maybe it's not herdsmen or herdsmen, they are even in the bush. These ones are local, just come and collect the money from you. So people should make up your mind that I am very convinced that you will all get the loan, but don't think. Somebody told me the other time that the person just gave it out without knowing. He said it when we were discussing. He came to apply for loan. He said he will be traveling to Canada next month or thereabout, or something. So he thinks he wants to run away from this. You know, even if you are in Canada, you know what? Most of them are still running bank accounts in Nigeria. And this global standing instruction, they can even extend it to as far as possible. So don't think you run, just make up your mind into a genuine business, and the genuine business will be able to pay back.
Thank you, sir. But I think there's a little deviation about the question I'm asking.
Okay, yes. I actually deviated. So because people have been complaining that they have not been this for such a long time, the bank now in our meeting today said they are going to automate the process. When they computerize the process, it means you can look at it at any point in time. You can look at the status of your loan at any point in time. When you submit your business plan now, like you have paid for us to do for you in the next 1 week or so, you should be able to submit your business plan to their portal. They will now, after some time, they will say, okay, you relate with you, your loan, your business plan has been received, and then it's undergoing processing. After some time, they will say, maybe 3 months, they will say the loan has been approved. It's waiting for further before disbursement. Or maybe the loan, this is based on our interview with you. We have found out there must be a reason. Or if they are going to reject your loan, there must be a reason. It's either, and I will give you examples of what they do. Now, you say, for instance, you have been in business for 3 years, for so many years. And then while you were filling the form, you are considered a startup. A startup will not get the volume they wanted. They want, because they believe that you don't have the capacity to be able to manage so much money. I'm not speaking specifically of you. I'm talking of this. So that this workflow, this thing, the computerization will allow you to know the status of your loan at any point in time. I hope I'm clear now.
Okay, yes, I'm clear. Yes, thank you.
I say, I hope I didn't deviate from your question again. Okay, any other comment? Okay, tomorrow, 2 p.m. is another date. You are going to study something very kind of book accounting records you need to keep, and then for your business, there are so many things. So many reasons why businesses fail. Some fail because no proper accounting record were kept. They will tell you how to also pay yourself a salary. You don't just keep touching the business money every time. Put yourself on a salary so that you know whether you are doing well or not. All those information will be shared with you tomorrow, and within the week you get more information. The next day will be selling and sales and marketing strategy, how to market your products, how to use social media to attract businesses. If you are a fashion designer, for instance, you can start putting up some of your elegantly designed clothes on Facebook, or mostly Facebook is what we use. Some people have Twitter accounts. Twitter seems to be more advanced for businesses in Nigeria. They will tell you all these things, and then the last day they will talk about how to register a company, the types of companies you can register, and then how to meet up some requirements from government, how to pay your taxes regularly, how to, if you want to do some further things, how to even, so many things, compliance issues, they will talk about that on Friday. Then I'll round it up generally, and then we do the graduation and distribute your certificate. And then for those who have choosing us to do the business plan and that and all that for them, we will now start work. They might be calling you from time to time to ask some few questions based on the form you filled, because our people are well positioned to know the minds of NISAL people. On this note, I want to say a very big thank you. Please, a quiz will be posted lecture will be posted shortly. The one of yesterday, most of you did not either attempt it or you didn't post your results. We are supposed to have 50% mark for you to be issued a certificate. So please pay attention to it. Any moment from now, as we are ending, the quiz will be posted. It's almost been posted now. Please try to fill it. They are very simple things based on what we have just discussed. Now we are also going to share these slides with you almost immediately. I wish you a very good day, and I look forward to see you again soon. Please concentrate and ensure that you put up or do your best to make sure your internet is always on for this period. I know it's also a costly venture buying data and all that, but it's worth it because the information you are getting here is actually very useful. Even if not for the loan, the fact that you are getting this information is important. Now we are talking about if you want to place your business in social place, what are you going to consider? It mustn't be because of a nicer loan. These are things that you have learned and you have learned. I wish you all the best and enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.